again. For once, I'm actually filming a video ahead, not just making a video and then putting it straight up on YouTube, because I'm doing this in preparation for Ace Week. Because like if I don't have time to do videos during Ace Week, I want to at least have something going out there, so something to publish during that week. So I'm doing this now. So I said two things during my last video. One was I'm gonna dye my hair blue, and this is the result. It was supposed to be like midnight blue or like really dark blue that looks black, but this is actually just black, and it's already wearing off even though it's supposed to be permanent. So I'm gonna be doing something different with my hair soon. Maybe you'll see if I do another Ace Week videos during Ace Week or before that, in preparation for that. And the second thing was that I'm going to probably talk about A spectrum characters in Finnish media. The lighting is terrible. And at the time I thought that wouldn't be much of a hassle, because like I try to keep a track of what kind of representation we have, and it really hasn't been that much usually. But usually I just get a discount to a bookstore, and then I just Google asexual or aromantic and see what it gets me. Sometimes it gets me very easily. Like, again, I just love this book. It's so beautiful and so ace, and I'm gonna talk about it hopefully during this week. I'm not sure. And then it also gave me this. Look, it's very pretty also, and I really love these colors in the shoes. But not every book is gonna be that blatantly ace, so I just don't always know when something has ace or error representation, because like frankly a lot of times people just don't care about talking about this. But when I was thinking about this video, I did actually do something as simple as Google it, and turns out there's more representation than I thought, and that makes me really happy. And I've already I'm in the process of looking more into it. I watched a movie, I watched a web series that I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. I bought some books, which I shouldn't have done, but anyway. So like the state of Finnish asexual and aromantic representation is better than I thought. So if I can't get anything else out there during Ace Week this year, what I want to do is talk about some asexual aromantic representation in Finland, or written by Finns or whatever, that you, as someone who understands English, can check out for this Ace Week. So let's get on with it. So first, in my old video from Ace Day 2021, when I talked about what's like being asexual in Finland part 2, I mentioned H.P. Lehkonen's The Immortal Nerd webcomic, and I've since checked it out, and the main character Nokia is supposedly demisexual. From what I remember, I think that fits, but mostly they use they. They just didn't really get involved in a lot of the romance shenanigans in that series, but I think it would be interesting to actually reread it from that perspective, that she's demi, and see if I've said something that I missed the first time around. Sorry, the lighting is just really weird. So, and then, just right now, I'm filming this in September, and this month, or maybe it was very late August, Kausijuoppo, it means seasonal drunk in Finnish, started a new web series, a webcomic on Tumblr, Tapas, and Webtoons called How Are You Supposed to Feel Like? About Pasi, who is coming to terms with the fact that he is aromantic and heterosexual. So, hello, rep. Yay! Like I said, it's just started, like it publishes 4 pages every Saturday, and I like the beginning, but it's very easy to get along. It's just started, so you won't be lost, and there won't be much to go much to go through if you decide to check it out. But I like it. And then the next one is gonna be a bit. It's kind of complicated, and here's why. So the next one is Salla Simukka's the Lumikki trilogy. It's basically was marketed as like a Lisbeth Salander as a teenager, without the rape. Without rapes, there's some trauma, but not no rapes. But anyway, Lumikki, I think, reads very demisexual. I'm not completely sure whether that was on purpose or not. So, but I still think this is worth reading, and I think this should be relatively easy to get in English. In other languages too. I actually have it in Italian. I bought it from clearance because I really need to buy my many other languages. But I think it is good. At least the first one was very enjoyable. These other two had like weird plots. But I can recommend it. I like it, and I will say that I think Lumikki's demisexuality, like it worked better for me than some of the actual demisexual characters I've been reading this year. Sad to say, but even beyond that. So basically, why I mentioned this one is because, like in 2020, Salsinukka wrote another book. It's called Lukitut. I don't think this has been translated, and in fact, they don't even sell physical copies anymore, apparently. But this one has a demisexual. One of the characters in this book is demisexual, and as I'm recording this, I haven't started this yet, but I hope to read this by Ace Week, and maybe I will make a video about it. Basically, the fact that Lumikki was basically written as demisexual, or could be read as demisexual, and she then later actually wrote a demisexual character, I think it's cool. So that's why I mentioned these two. And then let's move on to movies, or live action, or whatever moment. So if you've heard anything about Finnish film the past year or two, you've probably heard Girl Picture, especially queer cinema, sapphic cinema. You've probably heard about Girl Picture or Tytöt by Ali Haapasalo. It came out last year, and it can be found some places online, even with English subtitles. And what you might not know, which I didn't know until I actually looked into this, is that the third friend in the group, the third girl, she can be very well easily interpreted as questioning asexual, although no one actually tells her that is a possibility, and there is some sex normativity in the movie, especially when people react to her. But she does have, like, she does this, tries to have sex, and it's mostly like a blah experience rather than like a traumatic one. And it ends with her being like, I don't know if I like kissing or sex, and I just don't know, I might or might not, I just don't really know yet. And this guy being like, okay, that's cool. And I think that's a nice ending, and I want to make a proper video once I've watched it a few more times to have a more comprehensive picture of it and talk about it more. So I can recommend it if you want to. Again, you can find it online. Unfortunately, you can't even buy the DVDs because apparently we don't do that anymore in Finland either. And the final one is something you can actually watch on this very website on YouTube. You can go and search for Demi and Ace web series, and you get this. I'm gonna get speechless apparently when I talk it. So basically, it was Laura Eklund Naga. I think that's how you pronounce the name. She wrote these audiobooks, both in Finnish and English, about these two friends, Demi, one who's Demi and one is Ace. And the names kind of also fit, like Demi is Demetria and Ace is Alyssa, I think. But anyway, I haven't listened to either version, but because I hate downloading apps, so I still haven't gotten any like audiobook app, any app for audiobooks. But I'm thinking about it, so I can listen to those. But anyway, so Laura wrote those books, and then they did a fundraiser in 2021, and they actually shot and released the first season of the Demi and Ace web series. Like there's a proof of concept, there's a pilot, and then there's 7 episodes, and the episodes are like 7 to 15 minutes, so it's not that much of a time commitment, but it's very much worth it, having like two, like they call it a romantic comedy, like it's like two A-spectrum girls, young adult women, they are like early 20s, they are like trying to figure out dating and not wanting to date, and everything that, like, how do you know if a guy likes you, especially if you don't want the guy to like you, and like all this they have these lots of very interesting and relatable conversations, and I really love the writing of it and the performances, and it's very accessible. Like there's official subtitles, and like it's very anglicized, which is the term what term I'm gonna use. Basically, I mean it does a thing that sometimes TV shows or movies can do, where they don't specifically mention where something is said, so that you can just assume it's like a generic place in America, even though it's Canadian or something like that. So they do that, and I think that was kind of a bummer. Like I would have liked it to be have something specifically Finnish, like that. But they do have very Finnish accents, and I absolutely love that. Like it's just fun to hear people talking about relatable things, and sounding like me. So yeah, I really love that. I watched the whole thing. It isn't much of a time commitment, but I hope that it seems like they are gonna do a season 2 probably next year. I'm not completely sure, but it seems like it, and it would be really great if you check it out. It was lots of fun. I just really enjoyed it. It was lots of fun. So that's what I can tell you. That's what I can suggest you. Here's my suggestion. Here, let's see. Can you? I will probably write that in the description. But here are what I'm trying to recommend to you, and what the rep is. And then one final point. I'm showing my new ace and arrow rings. Like this. This had some black, and this was actually red. You can see the red, but then I used nail polish because it's really hard to actually find basic black or especially white rings. But I'm very happy with this. So if this is the only video I managed to do for Ace Week, then everybody have a great Ace Week. If I manage to do something else, then let's... Oh, I do plan on making more videos, so even if it's not during Ace Week, I'm gonna put something out there later, because I wanna talk about a lot of the books that I've shown, and there are even some that I didn't mention in this video. So, again, happy Ace Week. Bye!